All right. Well, I didn't realize how tiring it was to pick up a handful of leaves and over again and pile them on a tent. This is what it looks like. This is the uphill, and that's the downhill. So I've got a fair covering on both sides. Again, this was the one I did first, the uphill side, because the wind coming down, I didn't want it to come in. So it'll stop the wind. I didn't do it at the entrance and the exit. If you see, it has that nice little thing, so it kind of blocks the wind from getting up next to the skin pretty much. I might put some right here at the corner. So that's the night. I've still got to go find me a bear bag tree, and I think I'll brew me a cup of tea and call it a night. Of course, I do have my Lucy 2.0, which is a solar cell charged light. You strap it to the back of your pack, and as you go through the day, it charges up. I think if it has 6 hours or 8 hours, it'll go for 18 hours. And of course, sitting in the store, they build up a charge because, stores aren't dark. And when I do that, I'll drink my cup of tea and with a dollop of honey, and then put the stuff in the bear bag and hoist it up into the tree. And then hopefully tonight will be a more comfortable night than last night. I'm actually going to be much more willing to use those hot hands packets, because I'm having a better sleeping bag showing up in a couple of days, and two, things are getting warmer, and I don't want to. I'm also going to put something at the end of the tent, in addition to the leaves under the tent, that will help me insulate my feet from the ground. It narrows to the end. It's a tube that shrinks towards the feet, so it's hard to kind of crawl to that end, which is nice in some ways, but a pain in the butt to get to. I don't know, the tent that I had, there was a tent that had been abandoned at the campsite that I was at. It was a Magellan Outdoor. I looked it up. It was a $30 tent. I told a ridge runner, and she got to break it down and pack it back to the lodge. But it was a mile from the lodge, so I don't think it was a great inconvenience. Now, Renee, who was the mother of a soon-to-be Eagle Scout, and her 8 Boy Scouts that were with her, or they weren't with her, but in her group, I told her, see if she could hit up the Ridge Runner for a donation. See if they would donate that tent, or to at least get hold of the contact information, so maybe they can put in their name of their troop or the name of somebody to pick up those as donations. So anyway, I am calling it a night. I have bear bag work, and I have tea to brew, and of course setting up my bed now that the tent is put together. This tent, actually, the instructions are keep the door open when you are folding it up. Apparently you don't, if you keep it closed, it'll pop or something, I don't know. It didn't actually say what the consequences were if you didn't keep the door open when you were stretching it out to fold it up and store it. So, well, that's the night. The sun is down. Man, I need to look up the Philmont or the Reveille taps. The day is done. The sun is set. Oh well, I used to know it, and of course the 8 scouts that, out of the 8 scouts, 6 of them were Eagle Scouts, so including the leader. So they had been to Philmont twice in the last several years. So it was kind of nice. I hadn't realized that the monsoons in Philmont, they apparently had a flash flood in July, and a boy got wrapped up, got tangled up in his tent and never got out. So said it sounded like a freight train coming through there. So which drowning in the forest in New Mexico is interesting, to say the least. So, all right, on that sad note, again, I guess I'm thinking about camping kind of in a gully type of a place, but see, the gully's not here, just for those who would worry. I'm actually out of the gully, but I met those guys and I was thinking about that. So, all right, adios. Bye.